fraud and who's for real. Mazz's tears.
Yeah, those are the tears of a clown.
Mazz's tears.
The second tier.
Hold on, let me get my pen.
Mazz's tears.
Dallas. Buffalo. Tennessee.
Mazz's tears.
Third tier.
Okay, here we go. Hold on, let me get my pen.
Mazz's tears. 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 Tears.
All right, it's that time of the week. Mazz's Tears, and the inspiration was what you heard right there. I was watching the Bruins the other night on TNT, and they come back from break, and there was a little salute to Brandon Carlo, former Bruins defenseman. And I don't know if they had a video there or not, or if there was a tribute or something, but there was a little acknowledgement for Brandon Carlo, which is cool. I mean, fine. But I said to myself, Brandon Carlo, he's not exactly tribute worthy or video worthy, and then I got thinking, he left very little impact. Like he had he was here 10 years, Mazz. He was drafted in 2015 and traded this past year in 2025. So he played, I think it was 8+ seasons. He was in the organization for 10 years. Can you name a single play he was involved in? I can think of one.
Well, I can name one, but it's not positive. Like
right? No, the only thing I remember is Wilson blasting him into Tom Wilson killing him.
Exactly right.
So I don't remember a play he made. I said, if there is another Boston athlete in our lifetime who has made less of an impact in a longer time than Brandon Carlo, I'd like to know who it is. Brandon Carlo. I looked at his Pro Hockey Reference page. And on the far right column, they do something called awards. So if you get Norris votes, if you get Calder Trophy votes, and they do this in all sports. If you get All-Star Game appearances, if you go to if you win a championship, if you lead the league, so it's this far right awards column. And in hockey, you just have to get votes. There'll be things I'll say like Norris/17, which means you finish 17th in Norris voting, right? So they'll log whatever little thing that you got. Brandon Carlo's far right column on Pro Hockey Reference is completely blank. Zero. There's nothing there. Nothing.
Nothing for even most disappointing big guy you'll ever see.
9 seasons, almost 9 seasons, no All-Star games, no championships, no awards, no votes for. He never got a single vote for a single thing ever, not once. Brandon Carlo could walk down the street, drop his pants, and wave his schmenzer all over the city. And people would ask, who the hell is that guy? I don't mean to dump on him. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Supposed to be a great guy.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. I thought he was overrated as a player. I mean, I never really got him as a player. Some hockey Christian has said, well, you don't get it. You don't know hockey. All right, fine. I don't know hockey. All I know is, wow. And I'm sorry this took too long. That's the inspiration for this week's Tears.
Yes, again, lack of impact is what you're getting at. Lack of again, sometimes you drop something out of a window and it leaves a crater. There are other times you drop something out a window and it explodes into a ball of dust and you never see it again.
But little impact,
Perfect.
Long tenure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to be tenured. You just can't come here for 5 minutes and suck. No. You had to have been here for a long period of time. And then when you leave, people look back and say, I don't remember a single thing about that guy.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So let me just
say.
So
real quick, Mazz's Tears is brought to you by the Bernardi Automotive Group. Celebrate with end-of-year savings now at all Bernardi locations. Save big on our lineup of Honda, Toyota, Volvo, Acura, and Audi vehicles, all priced to sell fast. Get started at BernardiCars.com. Again, BernardiCars.com.
Okay, now this is obviously a very subjective list. I tried to keep it between 15 and 20 names because there are undoubtedly a lot of names that our listeners will come up with on their own. So we're going to start with Tier 3. I'm going to try to give you a little tidbit of information about every guy here. So let me begin. Tier 3 of people who did not have impact. Alex Cora, the player. The player. Name me one play that the Red Sox did a lot of winning when Cora was a player. Do you remember one thing that Cora gave them?
He picked someone off of second base.
He did?
I don't know. I don't remember, but something like that.
So, and this is my point. Yeah, Mazz, he was a utility guy. So was Brock Holt. He hit for the cycle in a playoff game. He made an all-star team. My point is, I remember Zip about Cora's playing career, and I'm sure most fans do either. For that matter, Craig Breslow also on the list. Name me one big appearance that Craig Breslow had. Answer: you can't remember one because there probably isn't one. And you're going to see a commonality with someone else on this list, which we'll get to shortly. Joe Cardona, long snapper, played 10 years here. Name me another city where people will remember the name of the long snapper, because the only reason we remember Cardona is that Bill Belichick picked him and he went to Navy.
Right.
I blame Bill. Yeah.
That's it. Otherwise, we wouldn't know anything about Joe Cardona. And I will add Nate Ebner to this list as well, another special teamer who was a former rugby player. Again, sort of a Belichick product, for lack of a... Would anyone ever remember? Do you remember any... I mean, he made some good plays. What would you say the most memorable play of Nate Ebner's career was?
I can't remember.
Didn't he F up the mortar kick?
Yeah, the game against the Eagles 10 years ago.
Yes.
I think it was, yeah.
That was him?
Yeah, he either screwed up the recovery or he was the one who punted it. He might have been the one who punted it. Bill put him in for the mortar kick. 'Cause that's the only thing I remember about his career. And I know I'm picking on special teamers. Jay Crowder with the Celtics, whom people celebrated as like some sort of great thing. Tell me, what was his lasting contribution to the Celtics?
Here's the one thing I remember about Jay Crowder. Being bitchy on Instagram at Devin Booker when Devin Booker went off for 70 points here at the Garden. That's literally the only thing that comes to mind for me with Jay Crowder.
I can't remember a single thing he did in a game.
No, when you say that, your greatest quality is your contract, that's kind of what we're talking about. Wasn't that the conversation? I mean, best contract in the NBA, best contract in the NBA. Nothing about the player. It was just a contract.
And when he left the Celtics, he played for 7 more organizations. I'll just pass that along. Finally, Tier 3, Marcus Banks, who was a point guard, highly touted early in his career. People raved about him, thought he was going to be the next big thing. Jimmy Stewart, am I right on that assessment of Marcus Banks, highly touted?
Yeah, he was going to be the fastest point guard in the NBA.
Does anyone even remember him being on the team?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you do, Jimmy. Again, you're a bit of a green teamer, and I remember the name too, so did Felger. But most people wouldn't even remember that he played. I'll just add, by the way, that in these tiers, I tried to keep everyone in this millennium or in this century. Okay, only the 2000s. I didn't go back to the 90s, the 80s. You're certainly welcome to do that if you want to call in with your suggestions. I did not. Now, the names get a little more interesting. Let's go to Tier 2. If we could, I'll ask Vinny Crouch, our simulcast producer. Tier 2, Eduardo Rodriguez. What do you remember about his career in Boston?
It's kind of soft.
Yeah.
Cora yelling at him.
That last season, you asked me off the air. That last season, he was pretty good, but it's only because Corey yelled at him, like Jimmy said.
Okay, so what I remember is him pointing to his watch in the American League Championship Series or Division Series against the Astros. Do you remember that? He was walking off the mound.
Barely.
You don't remember that
don't.
incident? Oh yeah, that caused quite. Again, it had nothing to do with the performance on the field, but that's, to me, that's what he's most memorable for. Louis Erickson with the Bruins, whom they acquired in the Tyler Seguin deal. Do you remember anything about Louis Erickson's career here?
No.
Zero, other than I couldn't stand, because I never noticed him. I never noticed the guy on the ice, ever.
Okay, and he wasn't a horrible player. He just wasn't all that good either, and there was never really anything memorable that he did. I remember when he got here, people saying, "Oh, Erickson's a good player."
Wasn't he a Corsi darling? Like the advanced stat geeks loved him.
Maybe. He had 147 points in 224 games with the Bruins, and I can't remember a single one of them. It's a lot of points, seriously. I don't remember one. Daisuke Matsuzaka signed with the Red Sox. Big contract, big signing from Japan. He actually went 50-37 during his Red Sox career, spent 6 years here. What was his biggest game? And I don't mean most important game. I mean, what was his best performance?
I don't remember a single
me
game.
either.
Honestly, the most memorable thing about him was him coming here. That's it. Once he got on the mound, how painful he was to watch. He was slow and took forever.
Brutal.
But I don't remember a single game. I know he pitched into the playoffs that year, right? But I don't remember any of them.
So I think he started game 3 of the World Series in 07. But honestly, he kind of sucked in the game. They won it anyway. He had 1 year, I think that was the year he went 18-3, and nobody remembers it. Might have been the next year, might have been 08. Here's a good one that Jim Murray suggested, and I thought this was good. Dietrich Wise, 8 years with the Patriots. He had 1 fumble recovery, He forced 5 fumbles, though, again, I couldn't possibly remember any one of them. He averaged 3.5 sacks a season.
There's one of those years he had like 7.5. Do you remember one of them?
No. And Murray, he was a captain. The media loved Dietrich Wise, who apparently, by all accounts,
Nice
was
guy, yeah.
but he was a media darling. He was a terrific guy. He was a smart guy. He was, eloquent. All of that. I don't remember anything he did in any of his games. Zero. All I remember is that there's a big guy with long arms who could, hold a blocker and let someone else go make the tackle. I guess I have no real ammunition other than that. This is a Mazz gripe here. Tavon Wilson, you remember him?
Yes.
How many years was he here?
Tavon Wilson was here 4 years. The original Bill Belichick high draft pick that shouldn't have gone until the 5th round. One of the originals, and if I'm not mistaken, his most significant contribution to the Patriots was blowing the coverage on, was his name Sidney Rice?
In Seattle in 2012.
Yeah, that was Tavon
Bingo.
Wilson back there who blew the coverage.
Yes.
Bingo.
Yep,
Was at that game.
I've never forgiven him for it, and that was his lasting impact on the Patriots. And also on this list, the Bruin that we famously referred to as the quiet one, Danton Heinen. We called him the quiet one because, of course, he did nothing ever.
No, it was because the hockey guys, like DJ Bean, like the guys that know hockey, he plays a quiet game. You wouldn't know he plays a quiet game. I said, yeah, he's so quiet as to be, audibly invisible. You don't even notice that he's on the ice. It's so quiet. A quiet game. So we called him the quiet one. That's
right.
why we did that.
Quiet game, and you wouldn't know it, and we didn't.
Tier 1 comes your way right now, Maz. Take it away.
Yep, and there are 5 names on this list, starting with Brandon Carlo. I mean, he's the one that came up, or he's the one that triggered the thought to do these tiers in the first place. As you said, 9 seasons in the NHL, 10 years in Boston, 0 votes for anything.
Ever. Not one for one thing, ever. 0. I've never seen a guy have a career that long and have that far right column on the hockey reference be completely devoid of anything. 0. Not a vote for one thing ever in anything.
So I'll give you one who was close, though. Don Sweeney.
This was my suggestion as a player.
Yes, Don Sweeney is a player. And again, you'll notice Cora, Breslow, Sweeney, all on this list. Mike Vrabel, as it turned out, had a pretty memorable career, made a major impact.
Definitely.
So Vrabel's not on there, and the Celtics we can't even get into because neither Missoula nor Brad Stevens ever played in the NBA. So there you go. But Don Sweeney, 15 years with the Bruins, once he finished 13th in All-Star voting. That's it. That's it. The rest
So at least he has a mark. There's some mark in that far right column. So, but Carlo, nothing. Blank, completely blank.
Zippo. Like, really, Sweeney just, but honestly, tied for 13th. If I were him, I'd call them up and tell them to take that off. It's embarrassing. 13th.
Tied.
Doug Mirabelli. Okay.
Maz, that was a pretty big day when they rolled him in behind the police envoy. Like, that was a memorable day.
Okay, so he was Wakefield's catcher.
Right.
Okay. What do you remember about his performances?
Nothing, but I remember the police escort. The police escort was a big, fun day.
He caught the actual knuckleball, which Daniel Bard couldn't do.
Okay.
Josh Bard.
So I'm just, again, I'm asking someone to give me some sort of Doug Mirabelli highlight from a game he participated in.
Didn't he wear no batting gloves?
That's not a game highlight.
I'm telling you, Maz,
I
but
got nothing on that.
the police escort was an impactful, memorable day. Like, that alone gets him off this list. I don't think he's first tier. Never mind, belongs on the list.
How did that help the Red Sox?
It's just a big, fun thing. It was for us who are in the sports realm. That was a thing.
Okay, if you say so. It wasn't for me. Jeff Green, 4 years with the Celtics. Anybody remember any highlights?
I'm sure there was a dunk or two somewhere in there that was useless.
Jimmy's going to come up with one. I know what it is. Go ahead, Jimmy. What do you got?
He was the draft pick traded for Ray Allen.
Oh, no, that's not what I was. I thought you were going to say there was a game in Cleveland.
Oh, where he shut down LeBron.
No. He made a big shot at the buzzer, I think, in a game in Cleveland that won them a game once. I thought someone was actually going to come up with that, and I was going to tell you it was luck. So,
I mean,
to
there's a
me,
leprechaun that's lucky.
Jeff Green to me was a tremendous zero when he was with the Celtics. Tremendous zero. And finally, in Felger, you're probably going to disagree
And
with
Doc
me on this
Rivers
one,
loved
too.
him, by the way. He was wrong about that, too.
Nice guy. I'm sure that's a common theme with a lot of the guys on this list. I think they're nice guys.
That Doc Rivers is about a talent evaluator.
Probably part of the problem. Nate Solder, I put in tier 1. Tell me, what do you did you ever talk about Nate Solder the way you talked about Matt Light or even Trent Brown in the one really good year he had at left tackle? Did Nate Solder ever register with you as some sort of elite player? 0 Pro Bowls, 0 All Pros, but the Pro Bowls, think of that. He was on 2 Super Bowl winning teams, was Tom Brady's left tackle, and never got picked to a Pro Bowl. I'm not sure he ever got a vote.
No, I mean, that's, Light had a personality where people can recognize him, his voice, his face. Again, he's also public, but he had a personality. Nate Solder's another guy who could run naked down Boylston Street. And he's massive, probably. And people would say, who the hell is that guy? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, I get it. He did win 2 Super Bowls, though.
He did. But again, I would say, did anyone ever talk about him? Look, this guy was Tom Brady's left tackle. You would think somewhere along the line there would be some sort of major, impact story or something involving that guy. 0. Zip.